All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Sport Port. So today we're just gonna get straight into it. We're gonna talk about some basketball and we're gonna talk about some football. And it's just gonna be for football, last night's game, Saints and Cardinals, and then Sunday's games, the picks that we're making for the game spreads. And then basketball, we actually have two picks for tonight, Friday, 10/21/2022 is the date. But we're going to get straight into that. So we got Celtics versus Heat. We made a game picks on Tuesday, I believe, for the Celtics game. And we went 2-3, I believe. But those were not confidence picks. It's the first game of the season. I don't know a ton about basketball. And we're going to try this out. But I have been doing a little bit more over the past few days. And I'm mainly going to focus on the picks for the Celtics because that is the team that I know the most about. So that is the team I am most confident betting in. And, when they go, I already know half the side. So then I can look at the other team and be able to figure that out. I can't just go through and look at all the games, but I will eventually when I get more into the season and I watch more games. Like I got the league pass and whatever. And I will be able to do more for you guys on that. But today we have this. I'm confident in the Celtics minus 2.5. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I'm saying that because I think that they can win. And I got Brogdon over 14.5 points. I feel like he could put up solid 16, 17, 18. Adebayo under 16.5 points. I also feel like our interior defense is pretty decent. And I know Robert Williams is out, but still I feel like we can hold him to that a bit. So I'm feeling decent about that. I didn't want to take, Adebayo's fantasy points or something because I feel like he's going to have a ton of rebounds and stuff like that. But points-wise, I did like that. So these are the three picks. These are our first three confidence picks for the NBA season. And so we're starting off fresh, 0 for 0. Because as I said before, the last picks, I said it in the video, these are not confidence picks. Do not bet these. These are just to make picks to watch the game tonight and see what happens. These, though, are confidence picks. These I am putting out there that I will put money on these myself, probably. The Brogdon and Adebayo. I'm not allowed to bet on the games yet. So I do like this one. And this is it for the start of the season. Our very first official bets for it. And I'm pretty good about those. So next we got the player props. So that's all for the NBA. That's all we're talking about. Those are the two bets I like. And the third for the game spread. That's what I like. Here, though, we made these for yesterday's game. And some, just to clarify, AJ Green under 5.5 fantasy points hit. It hit because he didn't play. So on Prize Picks, for instance, I made a bet on this. And it was a did not play. So I just got refunded my money back. So, it's not going to count for anything. It's not going to count against anything. You got a refund, right? So I'm not going to count this as a loss. I'm not going to, because, we didn't lose. I'm not going to count it as a win because of the did not play thing. We were technically correct. Yes, he did get under it, but it doesn't count on the betting app. So we're not going to count it here. But we did hit the Taysom Hill over 4.5 fantasy points. He got in the end zone, like I said. Juwan Johnson hit over his reception yards. So that was also good. Callaway, he got close. He had some 6 targets. He had one that was a little deeper where he definitely could have got it, but it didn't happen. So it is what it is. He didn't hit his prop, so we were 2 for 3 there. We also picked the Cardinals to win. We didn't like taking the spread on either team, but we did pick the Cardinals to win, so that's just a game pick. 1-0 there because we are actually keeping track now. You can go back and look at all of my picks I've made throughout the season, all of my confidence picks. I am positive in them. I've just been doing a bad job of keeping a record, which is on me. I'm still getting used to this. It can be a little overwhelming to try and keep track of a certain amount of things, but I am officially starting now. It is going to be on these pages. So for player props, for instance, we're doing pretty good there to start out, 2 for 3. And then we have our 1-0 for the game picks. So next, we're going to go into the actual games here. These are our picks just for this week. Once again, it's like the Cardinals one. We weren't like bet this or anything like that. These are just for the channel, just to see if we get it right, try and get the best record we possibly can. And these are our picks. Saints, Cardinals, the C, obviously for Cardinals. And it goes like that through the entire thing that we got here. I'll list them off really quick just to list them off. But Browns, Ravens, picking the Ravens there for sure. Falcons, Bengals, picking the Bengals there. Lions, Cowboys, picking the Cowboys. Packers and the Commanders, picking the Packers, even though that one's kind of a toss-up. Bucks, Panthers, absolutely taking the Bucks with Christian McCaffrey gone. Giants and Jaguars, we are definitely taking the Giants there. I said it earlier in the season. I think the Jaguars were going to get sent back down to earth, and that seems to have happened over these last few weeks. And I don't see that super changing against the Giants. So that's good. Colts, Titans, picking the Colts. They're getting Jonathan Taylor back, it sounds like. Matt Ryan just had his best game. Michael Pittman just had his best game. I don't think they're going to recreate those, but I think that they are going to be decent. And then Texans, Raiders, definitely taking the Raiders. Jets, Broncos, I think the Jets are going to win. Seahawks, Chargers, I'm taking the Seahawks there. That's like the big upset for me, I guess. Chiefs and 49ers, taking the Chiefs. I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to play a ton just because he's been on the Panthers forever. And he's actually on a good team now, so it's definitely going to take some time to set in a little bit, I think. Steelers, Dolphins, taking the Dolphins. I know the Steelers just won against the Bucks, but the Dolphins, Tua's coming back. They have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pull it off. Even though I do really like the Steelers players, they're very fun to watch, but I'm taking the Dolphins there. So that's just our picks. No bets there. If you also are really confident in one of them and you just needed that as a secondhand opinion, then sure. But yeah, so that's that. Here, this is a little longer. What I normally do is I do this on the channel. I say my guess, I go in and I look and I see if it's there. That takes 30 to 40 minutes. And if I'm also now talking about, the Thursday night game along with basketball, these videos are going to be an hour long each, and you're just trying to get picks here, right? So the first number there is who we think is going to be favored and by how much. Who we think. So some of these are wrong. Obviously, you can see on the first one, I thought the Ravens would be -3.5 against the Browns. They're actually -6.5. Some of these things are there to show, what I'm thinking compared to Vegas, and it helps me pick out the games that I want to bet on. So some of them are like 4 points off here. For instance, the Cowboys-Lions, 4.5 points off. But I didn't end up betting that one because I would take the Lions and then add those points as I normally do. But I just don't want to bet on the Lions. I'm not crazy confident in that. So why would I do that if I'm not confident in it? So it's just something to help me sort out my mind while I'm making these bets. And then that's all that is. I mean, you can see them all on there. You can pause it, look at it. I know it's a little small working with limited space, but we only picked 4 this week. So some of them are a bit far off. Steelers, Dolphins, I thought it'd be -2.5, and it's actually -7, right? So some of them are far off, but those ones, we didn't even pick either of those. But the ones that we did pick are right here. So we got the safety net. That's what we're going to call it. It's our safety net because these are safe-ish picks. Safety nets can always fail, but it's there because you think it's going to be safer, right? It is not foolproof, but it's helpful. So we are 10-1 so far. This I have been keeping a good record on because there's just been so few, it's easier to keep record on it. It's not every game on a weekend or anything like that. So we're 10-1 here. Colts +7.5. That ends up being -265. Buccaneers -6.5 is -265. Jets +7.5 is -295. And Seahawks +10.5 is -245. So these are picks where I am confident in them in the original spread that Vegas gives you, but I want to be more safe about it, so I add points to them. We're 10-1 so far. The only one we lost on was when the Steelers beat the Buccaneers, and we picked the Buccaneers. So we're picking the Buccaneers again, but they should absolutely destroy the Panthers this week. And even if they don't end up destroying them, they beat them by 1 touchdown and a field goal, or a touchdown and an extra point. Cool, like works for us because that's what we're picking. So if you took, for instance, the Jets and the Colts, because what you're supposed to do here is pick two when you parlay them. If you took the Jets and the Colts, you're going to get about minus 119. If you take the Seahawks and the Buccaneers, you're looking in that plus territory a little bit. It's going to be all in that minus 120 range to plus 120 range when you're adding these together. So obviously the one where it's minus 295, when you mix it with a minus 245, it's going to be more money for you than the minus 295 and the minus 265, right? But we are confident in all of these. I like all of these picks. Hopefully we can be 14-1. The first week that we did this, when I made this way of doing it up, we picked 5. We got all 5 right. The next week we picked 6. We got 5 of them right, obviously. And then this week we're just hoping to keep it up. We could lose all of these and still be up 10-5, which is good, but obviously I don't want to lose all of them this week. So that's what we're looking at there, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So we got our picks for tonight. We got Malcolm Brogdon over on his points, Bam Adebayo under on his points, and the Celtics with the spread. We went through how we got here and that, and we went over our last night's picks, and I'm feeling pretty good about these. So tomorrow I will come out with my picks for the player props on Sunday. And then on Monday, I will talk about the Sunday games and make my Monday night picks because I'm going to have a few Monday night picks. So I'm feeling very good about these. We'll see what happens. And I'll be back tomorrow. So thanks. You can go back in the video at any point, look at all the information to my side here, and be able to check that out. So thank you to anybody who stops by. And I will see you guys tomorrow.